Uh, it is July 1st. As the saying always goes, time sure does fly by, right? Kicking off with the win for the week. Anyone want to start? Any good news, positivity, encouragement?
I have a reverse mortgage. The guy is back and forth. He finally signed the proposal, so we're moving forward with that. So.
Awesome. Great. Awesome, Alex. Keep us abreast on that. That's always exciting to get reverses. Just a quick note, we've done some training in the past. I presented it at multiple real estate offices. Anyone want to take a wild guess right now how many people are turning 65 every day in America? Take a wild guess, guys. If I had a $5 gift card, Starbucks gift card, I'd give it to you. Maybe I will. Anyone take a wild guess? No Googling.
1 million.
Not that high. Every day.
6,000. 100,000.
Not that much.
6,000.
Close. It's 10,000 or 11,000 people a day are turning 65. It is going to be the largest. We're going to see like something about 4 million plus every year. Turning 65 for the next like 7 years or five to 7 years or something like that. And the whole point the point in knowing that data is because, Alex, reverse mortgages is something to really focus on. If you guys can kind of dial in on the senior citizens and obviously in an environment where debt is continually rising, income is not as easy to come by or limited, people tapping into equity. But that's great. Anyone else? No one else? Not even something small? Hey, Alex, real quick, who are you processing that loan through?
What do you mean processing through the loan?
What lender? Sorry.
Oh, lender. It's FAR.
FAR. Okay.
Yeah, FAR.
Yeah.
It took a while. He's very undecisive. He has very bad vision, so his family's helping him read everything. He has a course scheduled for Thursday that he has to take.
Yep.
And I've been working with this guy since I started here. I've been talking to him, so it's been months. Every day, just following up with him, and finally going through.
Yeah. So reverse mortgages, guys, just know that you have to take it's like a certificate course, get the certificate, and then you have to wait like 10 days, right? Not 7 or 10, I can't remember.
7 days.
Okay, 7 days, and then you can start the process. Then you could take an application, run credit, so on and so forth.
It actually depends on the state. That's California's guidelines. California, they have to wait 7 days. So after the seventh day, you can open escrow, order appraisal. The application itself can be sent prior to it, but the actual submitting it to underwriting, ordering FHA case number, because it is a HECM, we need FHA case number. For California, we have to wait 7 days before doing that.
Gotcha.
And all the other states, it does depend.
Got it. Thank you for that clarification. Anyone else win for the week? I don't feel like picking on names today, so anyone else want to share a quick win?
Well, since I was talking, it's not really a work win, but I'll be moving this month I got in my own apartment, so I'll be moving. I was living with my parents.
Great. It's always good leaving the parents. Nice. That just means Peter gave you a good pay raise. I'm kidding. But congratulations. Great. Hope it spurs on new blessings. That's great.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I actually have a question. So I have a client who's ready to move forward with HOP down payment program. And the only challenge is she needs to deposit about like $80K in untaxed cash into her account. So I was wondering if you guys have a client with like untaxed cash, how do you guys handle it?
I'm sorry, did you say untaxed cash?
Yes.
Meaning what? That this is mattress money, or
She just so she owns a business,
uh-huh.
and then she has some cash. She didn't just file the
Deposit.
tax. Yeah, she just didn't file a tax for the cash.
Oh.
Yeah.
If I understand what you're saying, she owns a business and she's filed her tax returns, but she didn't claim that income on her tax return.
I think so. She just she has some cashes with untaxed.
Okay.
So,
I mean,
as a loan officer, it's
we
right?
don't we don't care about whether she, well, it's not that we don't care, but it's not an issue for us whether or not she filed taxes on certain income or not. We're just going to go off the documentation.
Mhm.
But if you're trying, if what you're alluding to is she has cash that's been, undocumented, as in like it's just mattress money, it's not in a bank. Does, for one, doesn't the
It
HOP
allows gift
program-
funds, right?
No, right, gift funds, but then doesn't the HOP program limit how much cash you can have?
I don't think so.
No?
I think the maximum the gift amount is like 15 I think 115K. I think 150K up to
Anna, how much cash are you talking about?
80K.
Ooh.
Yeah, she can deposit 80K into her.
No, because if she makes a cash deposit of 10,000 or more in the bank, she's gonna get flagged.
Right.
Okay. I think the best option is if she has a family member that has
Mm-hmm.
a good amount of assets,
Uh-huh.
I would have her turn that cash into a gift fund.
Yeah, she doesn't have any relative.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
I'm
why.
sure Peter could find her one for a fee.
Yeah. Okay.
That's gonna be a Peter question. If it's not a relative,
Mm-hmm.
how to see how you can get that seasoned or legitimized.
Yeah, I've been communicating with Peter. I just wanted to have some idea from you guys if you have
Unless our way, the standard way would be to find a friend or family,
and then
and then wire it directly to escrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. No other wins. It's been a quiet week for everyone. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll share a quick win. I have I'll share a win here. I'll do the bad and the good. The bad is if you have a spotter approval, it's a pain in the rear end. All right. When you request the whole HOA cert, you guys make sure that every single question there's an answer to it. No NAs or I don't knows or something unknown, whatever. Every question needs to be filled out because they will reject it automatically. Make sure the reserves are, there are reserves. And the bigger thing is, I didn't realize this, is make sure that the HOA corporation is active. You as a loan officer can get ahead of it and just look up the Secretary of State. Have you guys all used Secretary of State? Yes? Just a quick yes or a no, or a nod or a shake. No? Okay. Let's do this real quick then. I want to show you guys. Now, this doesn't only apply to if you're working with a spot approval, but anyone that's self-employed, okay? You as loan officers can do your due diligence with this. So let's do this. What am I sharing right now? Okay. Secretary of State Business Search. Okay. So if you go to now, they've kind of changed their business the website around, but if you go to like just type in Secretary of State
Wagner,
business search.
you're still on the MWest
Oh.
page, not the.
Oh, okay, sorry. Is this it? Okay, here. Let me go
There you
back.
go.
So you just type in like Secretary of State business search, and you hit the biz file online SOS secretaryofstate.ca.gov. Okay. Don't do any of these .com guys. You know that, right? Always do a .gov when it's anything, government related or federal, right? So you're going to select that. And here's a business web search site, a business search site. So does anyone here know of a business you want to look up real quick? Anyone? But we'll go ahead and use Giving Tree Lending for now. Let's see. Advanced
Try group, Giving Tree Group.
Giving Tree Group. There it is. Voila. Thank you, Brenda. So you'll see that Giving Tree Group Inc. Okay, was initially filed in 2016. It's active. Okay, so this is what they're looking for. Is this an active company? Okay, our HOA showed that it was not active, that it expired. Okay, Giving Tree Realty Group. This is in Buena Park, La Mirada. Good to know that they're active, right? Anyone have a customer that they're working with and they are a business owner? Anyone? You guys have one? No? No business owners? Just a couple of weeks ago, there was a lot of Lifetime Realty. Let's try Lifetime. Okay. Lifetime Realty Group. These guys are in the city of Orange. Okay. He's actually a client of mine right now. Tommy owns it. It's a good thing it says active, right? Someone has one called Lifetime Realty and Mortgage Services. They're suspended. We don't want that. We don't want terminated. We want active. So, guys, this is something that this is a process that underwriters will do. So let's just say that you have a client and he's a self-run business owner, and they provide you your tax return or their tax returns. You submit it into underwriting, and all of a sudden, underwriter rejects it, denies a loan, or rejects it, or suspends it rather. And they'll tell you, hey, we just did a Secretary of Search, and the business is currently not active. That has happened to me a couple of times. Now, in one of the cases, it's because the corporation, they changed it. So they dissolved the one type of entity and changed it to a different type of entity, or they changed their names or something with a new EIN number. But nonetheless, yeah, that's a very useful site for you guys. I make it a habit if you're working with anyone that's self-employed, to do a quick business search. It doesn't take long, but a few seconds. Okay. One of the good news I have to share is my client got into escrow last week. He is a pastor, and as presumed perhaps that they don't have a large down payment. The church did the down payment on the pastor's behalf. Okay, the church did. So it's a $984 purchase price here in Yorba Linda, and the pastor has no, I think like $2,000 to his name in a business account or in his personal account. That's it. So it's like, how do we qualify this borrower, knowing that the church was going to do the gift funds? Now, technically speaking, guys, a church organization, or any organization, technically by guideline, can gift fund the down payment and closing costs. They can do gift funds on the borrower's behalf. Okay. However, there are some stipulations. Now, in this case, the church didn't want to go that route for tax purposes. Okay. So what the church decided to do, and it was really cool. I got on a call with our CPA and we got this all squared away. The church decided to loan the pastor $250,000. So they created a loan for this. Okay. Now, I did not know this. In the 16 years I've been in lending, I did not do this. But for it to be, I guess, I don't know if it's the right term to say legally correct, or for the purposes of taxation too, that part I was a little bit murky on. But when an entity or organization loans an employee a loan, it has to meet a certain, you can't put like 0% interest or 1% interest. The minimum has to be the Fed rate. So right now it's like 4.2 or something like that, 4.5. So that was what was on the note agreement. And so the payment came out to be like $700 or something on 250, and we hit the pastor on the DTI. But what the church did to counter that was to increase or give a stipend of $750 or whatever that payment was, to negate it. Do you guys follow? Does that make sense? And so that's how the pastor was able to qualify under DTI, despite having to add an additional debt of $700. It was like $723 because he's borrowing the $250,000. The church decided to add a stipend of additional $700, the same amount, to offset it. Okay. Another thing to note is on the loan agreement, it doesn't have to be a 30-year. It can be a 40-year. And that's how they created a 40-year note, and that's how the payment was reduced even further. It was just really cool to kind of go through that. As loan officers, we experience a lot of different things. That one was a new one for me in my career. I've never got to experience it, but the DTI checks out. The loan's been submitted. We hope to hear an approval soon with AmWest.
That is a very creative way of making it work.
Yeah. Thank you for recognizing, Freddie. It is.
Yeah.
Very creative, right? So it was just a win-win. The church wanted to keep the pastor here because he was going to move back to Wisconsin, where he's from, because he couldn't. In Yorba Linda, he's paying $4,200 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo. $4,200. And his thing is like, I'm not building equity, and this is all going to waste. And the church is not benefiting either, because they're paying a pastor who's just throwing money away. And so they decided to purchase, and it made sense for the church. The church is going to make a little bit of interest. They had the funds to do so. They wanted to keep the pastor. So it was just a win-win for everyone. So it was great. It was a really fun, really a delightful experience, actually. Just getting to meet the church members and the CPA and the whole nonprofit 501c3 world, learning a little bit about that.